time. It is time to work on this thing. Some of you may know that this is the NTX Flow shop car. This is my Genesis Coupe. I bought it in 2013, 2014, and have owned it ever since. It's the first car that I went out and bought. First car that I financed and everything, totally paid off. But she does have some issues. The most obvious issue is going to be all the hail damage. In the DFW area, this whole area is known for having bad hailstorms, like once, twice a year. So probably about a year and a half to 2 years ago, we got hit with hail. Couldn't get the car under cover and it's pretty damaged. Next is the bacon fenders. This is obviously from dropping the car too low without having a proper alignment done so it doesn't hit the fenders. The rears aren't too bad, they don't turn, so it's not gonna eat them up as much as the front. This grille is supposed to be carbon fiber, but it's completely faded. Classic eBay carbon fiber parts. Tint is bubbling. I don't even know what's happening with this handle. That's like crunchy. The lip is unpainted. The bumper is actually just a vinyl wrap that's shrinking and it looks pretty gross now. So is the trunk. You can see it's silver. Vinyl wrap coming up, it's silver right there. I actually want to drive this thing, but the car in its current form makes that not a very fun experience. It doesn't look as good as I want it to. Actually sitting way too low. I love the low look. I love the slammed look, but it's undrivable. Plan is to get our list going. The phone went out of focus, but here is the list. So we need to raise the car. That is obvious step number one, so that this thing can be a lot more enjoyable. Alignment. So the alignment is actually a pretty big one. If we come back here, look at the tire straight on, you can actually see that the front of it is further in than the back of it. So it's actually towed in. It's not just this side of the car that's towed in. The other rear tire is also towed in. So the car tries to drive like this, which means it ends up just shaking the whole time when I drive. Replace damaged panel. So this fender, the hood, and the other fender are the ones that I would like to try to get replaced, especially the hood. I think the hood is a lost cause. Not only does it have hail damage, it's also got this damage here that happened on the highway a couple years ago. Paint some of the worn out panels or some of the worn out pieces. So the grill, that's a big one. I would like to figure out how to sand this down and spray some new clear coat on it. This door handle having this weird reaction. Would love to get this sanded down and repainted. The trunk is another thing that I would like to have replaced since it's got the damage on it. I actually have a black trunk in my storage unit now, so that one may be going on. It does not have the wing, but I kind of have a future plan for the wing. I would like to make something a little bit different using the same styling. I also said wrap because I'm probably not going to be able to paint this entire bumper here at my house, and going somewhere to have it painted is almost not an option. I have no money for this project. Everything I'm going to do is either something I already have or something that I can like sell old set of lights and buy parts for it that way. I think a paint job for what I'm wanting to get done probably is not in the budget. Add new parts probably won't happen. Like I would like to add a splitter, diffuser, motor swap, just all the basic stuff that people do whenever they're modding their car to make it look better. Might even do a set of custom taillights. Everyone always asks why I don't have custom lights on the car. It's just being lazy. I have two goals in doing this. I want to, one, take it to a car meet and not make an absolute fool of myself for bringing just a clapped out Genesis Coupe. Don't want to be another one of those. And two, I want to take it on a date. Me and my wife are trying to go on more dates, and I would like to take that instead of the minivan. So version 1 is making it look better and drive better. Step 2 or phase 2 is going to be mods. So this has a few mods done to it already. We've got cold air intake, which means does something, kind of doesn't. Blow off valve, catback exhaust. And the best mod that we have by far is the shifter. Cold air intake, blow off valve, catback exhaust. This shifter is definitely the best mod that I did to the Genesis. I kind of had to because the transmission blew up. Didn't have to. I wanted to because the transmission blew up. Had it out already. So why not go ahead and put a really nice, good shifter in there. This thing took out all the slack and slams into gear and it looks really cool. So in phase 2, I would like to actually bump this up a little bit more. I'd like to finish out doing the bolt-on mods. So we already have air and a little bit of exhaust. I would like to get a downpipe, and I would like to do injectors and then a tune. Have that all done, just give it a small bump in power. It's unfortunately still open diff, so one of the mods I really want to do is get an LSD. I will weld it if I have to, but the goal of the car is to be drivable. I'd like to get both of those phases done by the end of this year, but on a budget. So the way I'm gonna fund it is by finding a bunch of the old parts that I have for lights, like this. Why do I still have these full color shifting Chevy lights? No one owns them, I own them. I don't have a Chevy. That selling things like that will definitely help fund anything that I need for this. And it'll clear out room in my shop, which is really exciting. I'm starting this project this week. This video is the first entry. This is just laying the groundwork, putting it out there so that I have to do it. Also, if anyone watching has any Jenny Coupe parts, let me know. I am willing to trade custom light work for some parts.